Hey learners! Today we are still going to be working with coordinate planes for math, except today the coordinate planes will already have their data points plotted. We need to interpret that data. So let's take a look. So here we have two of the same coordinate planes with the same data plotted. So let's take a look at what our situation is here. It says, at the end of each day for 1 week, the manager at Panera tracked the total number of people who ordered apples instead of bread as their side. So that's the situation for both. It's important to notice that they said at the end of each day. Okay? So our question in this first one says, what was the total number of apples ordered that week? So let's take a look first at our scale. Down here we have days, so this is going by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got the week here. And now we need to look at the scale here. This looks like we've got 25 here, so it's probably going up by 5. So let's just confirm 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So our total number of apples ordered is going up by 25. So our question again is, what was the total number of apples ordered that week? So for a week that would be 7 days, which is here. So we're going to look up for the total number, which is right here. If we look across, that would be 35 apples. All right. And we should have a label for all of our answers as well. All right, same situation here. It's at the end of each day. The manager at Panera Bread is looking at how many apples are being sold instead of bread. So the question here is, how many apples were ordered on days 3 through 5? Now this one can be a little tricky because initially you might want to start looking at day 3 and go to day 5. However, remember, if we're looking at day 3, that's at the end of the day. So we're not figuring out how many are actually sold then. So we would need to go back to the end of day 2 to see how many were sold through day 3 and then up to day 5. So let's start here. At the end of day 2, we were right here, and that is 15 apples. To the end of day 5, which is right here, they were at 30 apples. So from day 3 until day 5, they sold 15 apples. All right, let's try a couple more. Oops, there we go. All right, these are both the same data, the same graphs with the same data points again. Let's look at the situation here. The dance studio owner tracks the total number of students enrolled at the end of each month. So we see that the end of each month again. So the first question says, during which month was there the greatest increase in student enrollment? Increase means going up. So we'll look again for a scale first. Looks like this is going up by 1 month at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And number of students is on the y-axis. Here's 125, so we're probably going up by 25 students. Let's check. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. Perfect. So we are going up by 25 here. They want to know during which month was there the greatest increase. You'll notice an increase when this line is going up. So it's an increase here, here, and here. Now, at this point, during this month, it went up by 25 students. Here's an increase of 25 students. During this month, you'll see it's steeper. There was an increase of 50 students during that month. And during this month, another increase of 25 students. So here would have been the greatest increase during this month. So we look at the end of this month. This would be month 6. So from the end of month 5 to the end of month 6 was the greatest increase. So that would be month 6. All right. Same situation over here with the dance studio tracking the number of students enrolled. This question says how many more students were enrolled at the end of month 4 than at the end of month 9. So I'm going to underline these. So let's take a look at the end of month 4. That would be right here. At the end of month 4, it looks like there were, let's see, 200 students enrolled. And at the end of month 9, which would be right here, there were 150 students enrolled. So looking back at our question, it says how many more students were enrolled at the end of month 4 than at the end of month 9. I could take the 200 minus 150 and find out there was 50 more students. I'll just write more there, but 50 more students. All right, let's continue on with some more practice. Here we have same situation again, same data points, just different questions. It says Amber is selling hamburgers at the game. She tracks the total number of hamburgers remaining at the end of every half hour. What happened with hamburger sales during the last half hour shown on the graph? So we'll look here, and here our scale is going by half hours, half hour 1, 1.5, 2. Here for hamburgers remaining, I see a 50 here, so this is going up by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Our question says, what happened with hamburger sales during the last half hour shown? So here's our last half hour in here, and as you'll notice, the number of burgers remaining, 30, stays the same. So there's 30 burgers remaining here, 30 burgers remaining here. So what that tells us is that no burgers were sold during that time. So we can just write no burgers sold. All right. Now let's look at our next question. Same situation. Every half hour we're looking at how many burgers are remaining. This question says, if Amber sells 10 hamburgers every half hour after the first 2.5 hours, at what hour will she have no hamburgers remaining? So it's after the first 2.5 hours. We're right here. Now we want to show that she's selling 10 every half hour. So let's continue on with our graph. So 10 more after hour 3. Remember, our scale is going by 10, so she'd be here. And then the next half hour she'd be here because we're going down by 10. And the next half hour she'd be here, and she would be completely out of burgers here because you can see over here she'd have 0 burgers remaining. So the question is, at what hour will she have no hamburgers remaining? That would be hour 4. All right. Let's try one more set of data points here. All right. It says Israel is taking the bus home. He tracks the total number of miles remaining at the end of every 10 minutes. How many miles did the bus travel during the first hour of the trip? Let's take a look first at our scales. So here we've got minutes passed. I see 50 minutes here, so we're going up by 10 minutes. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And miles from home. Now here's a little bit of a different one. I see that I've got 30 here, and there's 5 tick marks until I get to 30. So if I divide that 30 by 6, or by 5, I'm sorry, it looks like we're going up by 6. Let's double check. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So this one's a little bit different. We're going up by 6s here, 6 miles, and 10 minutes here. So let's review our question again. It says, how many miles did the bus travel during the first hour of the trip? Well, an hour is 60 minutes. So right here, we want to know how far it's traveled. So we started out 60 miles away from home. So I'm going to just write that. We started out 60 miles away from home. And after an hour, how far were we from home? I'll look across. We were 24 miles from home at that point. So how far have we traveled? 60 minus 24. What would that be? That would be 36. So the question is, how many miles did the bus travel? 36 miles. All right, our last question says, it's the same situation. Israel on the bus. After each 10 minutes, they're recording how many miles from home. This question says, if the bus travels 12 miles every 10 minutes after the first hour, how many minutes will Israel's entire trip home have taken? So now we're traveling 12 miles every 10 minutes. So let's plot those points. We're going to go another 10 minutes, and we're going to remember the scale is going 6 miles, so we're going to travel 12 miles. So it looks like after the next 10 minutes, they'll be this far, because that's 12 minutes right there. And then after the next 10 minutes, they'll have traveled the final 12 miles. So the question is, how many minutes will Israel's entire trip have taken? At this point, they'll be 0 miles from home. So if we look, that will be 50, 60, 70, 80 minutes. The entire trip will have taken 80 minutes. Now just put min. So make sure that you're reading the questions closely when you're doing problems like this, and realizing that it does say that on a lot of these at the end of every 10 minutes, or at the end of the month, or at the end of the day. So just make sure you're reading the questions very carefully when you work on your Apply My Learning problems. And don't forget to label your answers with units as well when you're done. For your Apply My Learning problems, they are in a Keynote. So when you go into Canvas, you can just download that and work on your problems right on there, and then just upload it as a PDF. If you have any questions, just let me know and I will be able to help you.